When we talk about failure, we've all experienced it in different things, sometimes in sports, sometimes in life, sometimes in chances we take. My first experience with failure, I would say started, it took 7 or 8 years for it to fall apart. And it was through an addiction that destroyed my life at that time. And I only get emotional because it takes me back. I wouldn't change it, is the crazy thing. Even though it makes me, it kind of gets me, I wouldn't change it. The Lord began working on me, and He got me in a place where He could deal with me. Maybe He allowed me to get in a place where He could deal with me. And I ended up and that's how I ended up getting arrested. And there's no doubt that He postponed that arrest until He had me where He needed me. And that particular situation through failure has been such an opportunity for me to be able to share my story of salvation with many groups, from high school leadership groups to other addiction groups. But through that experience, I was given the gift of salvation. Not long after that, about 4 or 5 years after that, my father and I started a business that took off amazingly, and to the point where I almost began to believe it couldn't fail. That company went bankrupt, and we lost everything we had gained. Because of that failure, and because of the first failure, I could be involved in something like this. It's just an example of all things work out. Through failure, all things work out. And if you're focused on the Lord, He will do amazing things in storms that you can't see the other side of.
Endurance means we take where we are, what we can improve on, we do. What we can't, we have to totally trust that God's going to take care of us. I had been married, and I have a son and a daughter. And my relationship with my wife was bumpy, it was challenging. Every marriage has to be worked on, every relationship has to be worked on. And in 2011, I was actually on church staff in Texas, but one day their mom tells me, well, I'm moving back to Illinois. You can come with me if you want to, but I'm taking the kids. And I said, that's not going to happen. So I resigned and moved back. Of course, didn't have a job. Had to find a job, and that was a struggle. And it was challenging. So I got settled in life. And then 3 years later, I'd taken my kids one Saturday to go play with some of their friends. And I just had this sickening feeling on the way home. I can't explain it, but it was terrible. Something was going on. I couldn't put my finger on it. So when I walked in, their mom said, I found a place to live, and I'm taking the kids with me, and I've already talked with them, and they're going to live with me, and they don't want to live with you. I never did lose custody, but there was a point where they were moved away from me, like literally taken out of my life. I remember going to court and just being so weary. I was frustrated. I was heartbroken, living by myself, working, but I wasn't really at work. Not really. Did I ever get angry at people or situations? Absolutely. There were many mornings when I was just so frustrated. Did I ever feel that my world was falling apart? Yes. Did I ever have the sense of I don't want to get out of bed today, or I never want to get out of bed? Yes. I mean, the mornings that I would literally make myself get out of bed. And I remember I got to a point where, this is the truth, I really did not want to live. But I knew that I needed to for my kids, because I didn't want my kids to have to face the fact that their dad wasn't there. And that helped me stay on track and stay on purpose. My daughter decided that she wanted to reach out to me at graduation. I missed all of her high school. I missed all of my son's high school. And here I am. And it's really the grace of God. It really, really is the goodness of God. So I'm reminded in all of this, there is a biblical text that talks about life's challenges that creates within us perseverance and endurance and the ability to do that. And then if you go on and read it, it talks about hope. All of that leads to hope. I live in hope, and I'm still enduring because the journey is not over, if I could put it that way. It's not over.
As a man, as a husband, I'm supposed to love my wife, as Jesus loved, the church or loves us. And in that, Jesus first served.
We're called to serve others.
We should love our neighbors, we love ourselves, and to love somebody is to be able to serve them.
In their house, in their jobs, in their church. In every aspect of life, and in serving the hurting people that we come across day in and day out.
Yeah, having purpose really gives you a way to focus. Get up in the morning, when things aren't going right, you still have the big picture of, I know my purpose, I'm supposed to be doing this, so this is what I'm going to go towards.
Without a purpose, there's a lack of that feeling of value because you don't know what you're doing.
I think that every man's purpose is unique, and it's important to know who you are, first and foremost as a child of God, and to find your purpose from that, and let everything else kind of flow from that being at the forefront.